What's up, y'all? Hope we're having an amazing day. And oh boy, Concord is fucking dead. Like, just completely dead on arrival, and I cannot stop laughing at its expense. So Concord was supposed to be Sony's big Overwatch clone, meant to compete in the hero shooter market, which released a few days ago, going under almost everyone's fucking radar, because holy shit, these numbers for a Sony title? I mean, I don't think you can get much more dead on arrival than that, but I'm not here to just take jabs at the piss poor player counts, or laugh at the terrible character designs of the game, although they are fucking bad, but also the discourse surrounding this game and its launch, as well as the hilariously bad responses that the developers, fans, and gaming journalists have all commented about the game and surrounding controversy since it dropped. So let's start with the very first big red flag this game had before it even released, which was one of the lead designers saying, quote, "Whites must acknowledge their privileged position and then actively work for equality, while also claiming the judicial system is white supremacy." Like, fuck. Which is all just... How did you think this was going to benefit your game? I mean, what does this even have to do with the gameplay and its fundamental mechanics and design? Absolutely nothing. It's just pandering for the sake of pitiful fucking pandering. Which the bottom of this screenshot segues perfectly into my next point, how one of the developers has been responding to any and all criticism about the game. It's bad enough that yes, they were calling all of these haters a bunch of talentless freaks. By the way, the word you're looking for is untalented. Talentless doesn't exist, retard. But their actions get so much fucking scummier. Going as far as to hide replies criticizing their game and literally trying to charge those people money just to reveal their comments again. And you're trying to call people untalented, or sorry, quote, talentless. Genuinely go fuck yourself. Even one of the people replying to you just wanted to give constructive criticism, and you just childishly lash out at everyone for not loving and adoring your dumpster fire? They're literally alienating their own audience with this behavior. Speaking of which, the developers attempted to damage control the game's reception while simultaneously alienating more of the dwindling supporters they have by consistently removing and adding different tags to the game. Specifically LGBTQ+, a few political tags, and political sin tag, which later got re-added? What the fuck is that even supposed to mean? It's a hero shooter, the fuck? But, you know, the devs aren't the only ones who have gone into full-on damage control for how poorly this game has flopped. Multiple journalists and other quote-unquote fans have all been tweeting their own cope arguments and whataboutisms, trying to justify the game and its contents. Now, I do have to say, if you actually do like Concord for its gameplay, that's perfectly fine. I'm not attacking anyone simply for enjoying that, but the comments I am referring to is, again, journalists and fans who have been on either damage control for, or just outright coping over the game's poor reception and terrible player counts. Questioning why the game couldn't even get as many players as it had during its beta, or questioning why the all-time peak never increased from 700 after Americans got off school, which is just unfathomably sad and fucking funny. Some of them even began to convince themselves that the Steam charts were broken, or that something feels off due to the low player counts. And if you think that's all bad enough, well, one of the quote-unquote fans coping, or I guess Sony fanboy coping, well, regardless, one of them was going on attempting to compare Halo Infinite's concurrent player counts to Concord's as a massive fucking cope, stating that, quote, Xbox fans need to keep Concord out of their mouth. The reason being the small gap between the two player counts on PC, and when someone actually points out that Halo Infinite is a 3-year-old game, this retard copes even harder that it's, quote, Xbox's flagship title, which I want to hold up on for just a sec, because that's such an unfair, disingenuous, and fucking stupid comparison. Not only did Halo Infinite release 3 years ago, but comparing the concurrent player count of that 3-year-old game to the all-time peak of a game fresh off the press just to have an argument. Which I said this on Twitter in response, and I'll say it again here. Just looking at the all-time peak for each should tell you all you need to know. People actually gave a fuck about Infinite, but the devs lost all that goodwill over the following months of its life cycle until it's left where it's at now, which is still exponentially better than Concord. And I think that sums it all up perfectly, and I don't even know what else to say about this cope attempt or what to compare it to. It's just ridiculous to even try. Oh, and not to mention fucking Gollum of all games beat out Concord's all-time peak on Steam with 758 total versus versus Concord 697. Which, do I even need to highlight just how fucking sad that is? Oh, and before I forget, and before we even end things off, I almost forgot to mention this amazing gem as well. Concord is launched so badly that you can only see it in the indie porn game category. Oh man, just... whoa. I think that'll just about do it for the real highlights that I wanted to cover as it is though, guys. Like, I don't want to drag this video out any further. I mean, there's definitely been more cope, so if I do find anything else I want to show while making this, I'll add a little bonus round after the outro. But, speaking of which, I'm definitely gonna wrap things up here, guys. I hope you all got a good laugh out of this like I did, because the whole thing was immensely funny to me. So, big ups for watching the video as always, and you know, maybe subscribe for some more quality therapy, and I'll catch y'all in the next video.